Okay, so we're diving into this article. Are we creating a digital Superman? Pretty catchy title, right? I mean, are we really on the verge of, like, building our own Superman, but with AI?
It's a really thought-provoking question, isn't it? And the article does a great job of, like, laying out the argument.
Yeah, I was blown away by some of the stuff in there. Like that whole thing about AI processing speed compared to our brains.
Yeah, that's incredible. Our neurons fire at what, like 200 hertz? And then you've got processors running at gigahertz speeds. It's insane.
Totally different ballgame. Right.
Absolutely. It's like we're playing checkers and AI's playing, I don't know, some hyperdimensional chess we can't even comprehend.
And the way AI can analyze these huge data sets, pick out these subtle patterns we miss.
Oh, that's key. That's where AI really shines. It can see connections and insights that we miss completely.
Like AlphaGo, right? It wasn't just about beating a human Go master. It was coming up with these totally new strategies.
Right, like moves no human player had ever even thought of. It was learning, adapting on a level we just couldn't match.
Made me think, if AI can dominate Go, what else can it solve? The article mentioned medicine, engineering, even climate modeling.
Oh, huge potential there. Imagine AI analyzing medical images, finding diseases so early on, treatments would be way more effective.
That's amazing. Like personalized medicine based on your genes and everything.
It's getting closer than you might think. We're already using AI to analyze genetic data, look for potential health risks. It's still early days, but the progress is really exciting.
So it's like having a super intelligent doctor working with human doctors. And what about engineering?
Think about buildings designed by AI, adapting to the weather, saving energy based on who's inside, even repairing themselves. Wild stuff.
That's straight out of sci-fi. But okay, let's go back to this digital Superman thing. The article made this point about Superman having a moral compass, something AI lacks.
Right, that's the crucial difference. Superman makes choices based on his values, his sense of right and wrong.
AI doesn't have that, does it? It just does what it's programmed to do based on the data it's given.
Exactly. So if an AI's goal is, say, maximize profits, it might ignore anything that gets in the way of that, even if it's unethical.
Yeah, like those financial algorithms that cause market crashes, right? Just focused on making money no matter the consequences.
It's a prime example of the problem. We've got to make sure AI is aligned with human values, working for good, not just blindly pursuing some goal.
Which brings us to control, right? If AI is getting more complex, how do we even understand how it's making decisions?
This is the black box problem. Even the people who create AI sometimes can't fully explain how it's working, and that lack of transparency is scary.
Because if we don't understand it, how can we trust it? Especially if it's making big decisions that affect our lives.
We need more transparency in AI development, absolutely. Systems where we can actually see the logic behind the choices being made.
This is getting pretty intense. Seems like the more powerful AI gets, the more we have to think about these ethical issues.
No doubt. It's not enough to just build powerful AI. We have to build it responsibly, making sure it benefits humanity, not harms it.
This is a lot to process, honestly. I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
We definitely have. Lots more to dig into.
Well, for everyone listening, join us for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll explore more of the potential benefits and risks of this digital Superman concept. Wow, that first part really got me thinking, like all that stuff about AI's potential, but also those risks. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is, yeah. And it's so important to look at both sides, right? Not just get caught up in the hype, but also, like, really think about the implications.
Totally. So for this part, maybe we can dig into the positive stuff more, the benefits AI could bring.
Definitely. There's a lot of good that could come from this. I mean, think about medicine, for example.
Yeah, the article mentioned that. AI doctors, basically.
Kind of. Imagine systems that can analyze, like, medical scans way faster and more accurately than any human radiologist.
Finding stuff early before it becomes a big problem.
Exactly. Catching cancers at stage 1 when they're super treatable, that could save so many lives.
That would be incredible. But what about, like, personalized medicine? That always seemed kind of sci-fi to me.
It's becoming more real all the time. We're already using AI to analyze people's genes, figuring out their risks for certain diseases.
Whoa, so based on your DNA, AI could tell you, like, hey, watch out for this, or you're more likely to get that.
Pretty much. It's still early, but it's moving fast. Imagine treatments tailored exactly to you, your genetics, your lifestyle, everything.
That's wild. So, okay, medicine, big potential.
Right.
What else did the article highlight? I think engineering was in there too.
Oh, yeah, huge area. Think of, like, AI designing buildings, not just blueprints, but buildings that can adapt, like to the weather or to how many people are inside, saving energy.
Wait, what? Like a smart building that knows when to turn the lights off or adjust the temperature?
Exactly. Or bridges that monitor their own structural integrity, flagging any potential problems before they become dangerous.
Okay, that's next level stuff. And I remember climate modeling was mentioned too. How could AI help with, like, saving the planet?
Climate change is incredibly complex, right? Tons of variables, hard to predict. AI could build these hyper-accurate models, help us understand what's happening and what we can do.
So better data to make better decisions, like how to reduce emissions, prepare for whatever's coming.
Exactly. AI could be a powerful tool for tackling this huge global challenge, no doubt. But, we can't forget about those downsides we talked about earlier.
Right, the whole black box thing, not knowing how AI is making its decisions, that's still a big worry.
It is. The more complex these systems get, the harder it becomes to understand their reasoning. And that's a problem, especially when AI is making decisions that affect our lives in big ways.
Like, how can we trust it if we don't know what's going on inside?
Exactly. That's why transparency in AI development is so crucial. We need systems that can explain their logic so we can see how they're arriving at their conclusions.
Makes sense. So it's not enough to just make AI powerful. We have to make it understandable, too. What about that other big concern, AI being used for bad stuff?
Yeah, that's a real risk, obviously. Any technology can be misused. So we need really strong ethical guidelines, laws even, to prevent AI from being used to harm people.
But how do you even write rules for something that's constantly changing, evolving? Like, AI is learning all the time, right?
It's tricky, for sure. It's going to require a lot of collaboration between the people developing AI, ethicists, policymakers, the public. It's a huge conversation we need to have.
To make sure AI is used for good, not for evil, basically.
Right. And to think about, the long-term consequences, the big picture. We don't want to rush into this without thinking things through carefully.
And what about jobs? Everyone worries about AI taking over, leaving millions unemployed.
That's a real concern. But, new technology has always disrupted jobs, going back centuries. It's not necessarily about jobs disappearing, more about them changing.
So people will need to learn new skills, adapt to the new AI-powered world.
Exactly. And that's something we need to focus on, investing in education and training, helping people transition to these new roles.
So it's about, finding that balance, right?
Right.
Recognizing the potential of AI, but also being aware of the risks, the ethical questions, the societal impact.
Absolutely. It's not an easy task, but it's one we have to take on if we want AI to truly benefit humanity. This whole digital Superman idea, it's exciting, but it's also kind of terrifying,
For sure. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much more to talk about, like how AI might even change what it means to be human.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. We've talked about the practical stuff, but there are deeper philosophical implications, too. Stuff that makes you really question, our place in the universe.
Okay, now I'm even more intrigued. We got to get into that.
We definitely will. That's where we're heading in the final part of this deep dive.
Okay, so we're back, and I'm still thinking about all that stuff we talked about in the last part.
Yeah.
The good and the bad, It seems like AI could change everything.
It really could. And I think this last part of our deep dive, this is where it gets really interesting, really philosophical.
Yeah, you mentioned how AI makes us question what it means to be human. I'm curious to hear more about that.
Well, think about it this way. We humans, we've always seen ourselves as the most intelligent species on Earth, right? We can reason, we create art, we solve problems.
But what if AI starts doing those things better than us?
Exactly. What if we create machines that can write symphonies that blow us away, or come up with scientific discoveries that we've been struggling with for centuries?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, what makes us special then?
Right. It challenges our whole understanding of human intelligence. For so long, we've defined ourselves by our intellect, our ability to think. But what if that's no longer unique to us?
It's almost like AI is forcing us to look in the mirror and ask, what does it really mean to be human?
I think that's a really important question. And maybe the answer isn't about being the smartest, but about all the other things that make us human. Our emotions, our empathy, our relationships with each other.
So it's not just about IQ, it's about all those things that AI can't replicate, like love, compassion, creativity.
Exactly. Those qualities, those experiences, they're what make us unique, what give our lives meaning.
So instead of seeing AI as a threat, maybe we should see it as an opportunity.
An opportunity to rediscover what makes us human, to focus on those qualities that make us special, that machines can't replace.
It's like instead of trying to compete with AI, we can work with it, let it handle the things it's good at, while we focus on what makes us human.
I think that's a great way to look at it. And it's not about giving up on progress. It's about making sure that progress serves humanity, not the other way around.
Yeah, it's about finding that balance, right? Embracing the potential of AI while staying true to ourselves.
And that's going to be an ongoing challenge, a conversation we need to keep having as AI continues to evolve.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. I've learned so much, and it's really made me think about the future in a different way.
That's what we were hoping for. The goal wasn't to give you all the answers, but to spark your curiosity, to get you thinking about these big questions.
You definitely succeeded. And for everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. It's clear that the future AI is full of potential, but it's up to all of us to make sure that future is one where humanity thrives.